Hello everyone, I will be teaching you about Socrative by Mastery Connect. It is a wonderful tool that teachers can utilize in order to gain student feedback from quick formative assessments throughout lessons and even at the conclusion of lessons, especially with their exit ticket task. So first we will start with the teacher login. When you first create the account, you want to press Get Account, and it asks you certain things like your email address and what your username and password want to be, and whether or not you want the pro version, which is the paid version, you need to pay for that, or the free version. I went with the free version, and it is still very useful and highly engaging for students to interact with. So we will start with my account. Once you log in, you will be prompted to set up a room. It's your default room. You do get one with the free version. It works really well with mine because I only have one classroom. If you have more than one classroom, you would want to do the pro version because you can get up to 10 rooms. Once I have the default, then we can go back to the launch pad on the dashboard, so that you can see the different tasks that students will be able to be assessed in. Quizzes. Space race is the friendly competition between their classmates, and we will go over that further later on. The exit ticket is very effective and provides instantaneous feedback to the teacher. These are the different quick check questions, and we will also be going over them. So let's start with how to create the quiz. Underneath quiz, you're going to see create quiz, import quiz, my quizzes, and reports. If you are just beginning, you'll probably want to go into create quiz, and it will prompt you to give the quiz a title, and it will also ask you if you would like to align the entire quiz to a standard. So after filling out the top, then it will ask you what kind of question you want to have in your quiz. You can have multiple choice questions, which all you would need to do is to type in your question and fill in your answers. You can get rid of letters, and then you would also want to mark what the right answer would be and then save it. You can keep going by adding different kinds of questions, true and false, short answer, and then what you would want to do would be to save the quiz. After you save the quiz, you could go to launch, and you would select a quiz, and then it prompts you to pick how you want your quiz to be paced, whether it's student paced with immediate feedback. So when they answer a question, they're given immediately, is it incorrect or is it correct and why? If you put the explanation underneath the question, it will tell them why. Student navigation, which is they can go by their own pace throughout the quiz, or teacher pace, which the teacher will set the pace of that. You can also click in here, disable names, randomized question order, which if you're having students in close proximity to one another, you could do that just for it to be a more objective quiz. Also in randomized answer order, so that they aren't saying, oh, what did you put for number one? I got A, because it could be a different letter. So it's even more effective in that way. And then hiding the question feedback, and then hide the final score. So we're just going to leave it like that. And then you will get something that looks like this. Now, once you are here, then it's up to the students to go through and finish the quiz. So we'll go and look at what the students would be doing. So they would log into Socrative.com just like you. and they would go to student login. And this is the part where I thought was the easiest for the students, especially with mine being in 3rd grade. All they would have to do would be to type in your class name. So mine was 3A Rogers. And then they can enter just their name. First, if you have a small class like mine, I would just have them enter their first name. Saves them time. So we'll just use my daughter's name. And then immediately it will prompt them with the quiz I have assigned. So then they would need to go through, read the question, answer it, submit the answer, and it will also say it's correct, and they can go on. And while they are completing this, we can view immediately what answer they picked, whether or not it was correct, and how much percentage they have finished. So I won't be able to finish this properly until she's finished the quiz. That was one of the only downsides that I saw when going through, was that I had to finish the quiz before I practiced something else. Continent is east of Europe. So immediate feedback, what continent contains no countries? Immediate feedback, all of the time I'm getting whether or not she's getting the right answers. And this would show all the students that were doing this at this time. And then once they are finished, let's just say I also added a short answer at the end. So this says, if you would be able to live on any of the 7 continents, which one would it be and why? Which is a great open response question for them. And it also gives me their depth of understanding. I always love to ask the question why. And then we're just going to say, because it won't let me go on without writing something. So then they'll get this screen that says you've completed the current activity, waiting for the next activity to begin. So either they're finished with what you asked them to do, or you can go back, finish that, view the chart, and your results will be here, and your report for that quiz will be there then, as well as all the other quizzes and exit tickets that you've completed. Now, let's go back to the Launchpad, and we will go over the exit ticket. The exit ticket is amazing because it is immediate feedback. All you have to do is press exit ticket, and they will be given another prompt to sign back into the room. Their name. And then it will ask them 3 things. How well did you understand today's material? So you can have them sign on at the conclusion of anything you do, really. So I got it pretty well. What did you learn? They would type in what they learned. Just going to say, had fun. Please answer the teacher's question. So this could be given orally, or maybe you can have something written on the board. So yes. And then they completed another one, and you get, once again, the immediate feedback from what they did. And then you want to finish that because the task will be finished for them as well. And you're back on your dashboard. The other features that I saw were very beneficial, especially for some quick assessments, were the quick questions at the bottom. So for example, if you would click on the multiple choice to give them that task, you would have this come up, A, B, C, D, E, and the students would then again be prompted to pick one of the answers. Now, I said in my blog that this could be done orally. So let's say the answer what they thought was C. They would submit their answer, and then you would get back here what answer they chose. And then obviously the percentage would be over here. And once you are finished, you could click finish, or if you're trying to engage them in a more in-depth discussion, you could add another question. Okay, short answer. And then when we go back to the launch pad, there is also this task called a space race, which I thought was pretty neat because it brings in some friendly competition to your classroom, because the space race allows them to be on grouped teams, but you can do an automatic assignment, meaning they're just going to be randomly put into different teams. And then you can change the race icon to be something different if you're studying about insects or things like that. So I thought that was neat as well. And then you would need to select how many teams. So let's start with 4. You can, and then you would see 4 different colors. Obviously the rockets, the students would once again be prompted. And I typed in the wrong. Once they're in again, they will need to do the task at hand. So my quiz that I have was the continents and what continent do we live in. So that would be, and then once again, the immediate feedback of you're helping your team get to the finish line first before the other teams. Okay. So we went over the launch pad. We went over the quizzes. You can create your own quiz, and then under the My Quizzes is your bank of quizzes. The upgraded feature allows you to import quizzes from other educators that use this, which I thought was pretty neat as like a sharing forum. We went over how to make your room in the beginning in order for your students to join up and interact. The reports feature I thought was really neat. I touched on that earlier, but there is so much to engage in in data with this feature. So it tells me what was the name of the quiz, the date, the room, the type, and I didn't click any standards, but if I did, it would also give me the standards, and then you can click on the results with the eye. So you can see their growth over time. You can see the students that still need remediation or possibly even enrichment, and then you can go from there. So that is all of my Socrative Mastery Connect by Mastery Connect that I can teach you today. It is really engaging, and I have actually already used it in my classroom this week. It's super easy for the kids to navigate. The only caution I would employ upon you is that the students have to be able to do this independently, because if you're reading it to them, it doesn't necessarily do what it's supposed to do. So the great formative assessment tool, amazing for student engagement in technology, and it's awesome for immediate feedback and data collection for the teacher. Thank you very much. Have a great night.